it's the Kings to start out. And checking out Utah's opening lineup, we've got Hood. Rudy Gobert is out there with Trevor Booker. Then there's Rudy Gay. And it's Rondo in at the point guard. Now here's Booker. Down to 5 on the shot clock. The Jazz need to get off a shot here. Wide open look. It's rebounded by Derek Favors. And Sacramento has possession. They come into this one following a loss to the Thunder.
And that was one of the few times that you'll see a team just lack fight defensively in losing that game.
Yeah, and I know their fans may not want to hear it, but the reality and the truth is the defensive end of the floor was not what it needed to be in terms of effort.
Yeah, good job to take it right at them.
Yeah, really left him no choice there, Greg. He had the foul and keep him from converting the easy bucket.
The Jazz shooting their first free throws.
72%. I'm sure they'd like to improve that category.
Yeah, it's been a very frustrating season for them in that regard, guys.
And I think it's fair to say transition year for the Kings. I mean, to their stars, they just tried to build for the future, realizing
drops.
And he placed that pass out in front of him and let him just run into it in rhythm.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
Now here's Favors. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against Oklahoma City. And the Kings last year were able to get George Karl to lead the team. A good hire for them. This team did decent under him back in the last half of the season.
Yeah, they still got a lot of work to do, but he can certainly make it happen for him. One of the outstanding coaches in our league. The Kings actually were in it for a while last year, but then had a mini rebuild mid-season.
Hayward against Gay. He feeds it to Hood. And that one comes up a bit short. The Kings have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Outside Collison. Screen by Cousins. For 3, Hayward. Gobert pulls it in. Kings on D. Trailing by 2. Here's Hood. Here's Booker. No good. Nice D from Cousins.
That's now 4 misses on their first 5 attempts. Still trying to find the rhythm and flow here offensively.
Cousins with a screen for Collison. Rondo against Ellis. Favors with the screen. Ellis kicks to Collison. Releases. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Man, you talk about a guy that's bounced around the league since he's been in it. Darren Collison. He's played on 5 different teams in his first 6 seasons, and he's been a contributor and an impact player on all of them.
For Darren Collison, played a career-high 35 minutes a game last year. Seemed to help him find his rhythm, Greg, on offense.
And his coach had confidence in him, and boy, did he deliver. Unfortunately, though, Kevin, that hip injury shut him down after 45 games, but a positive season for him to build upon nonetheless.
Hayward can hit. Collison against Gay. Gobert with a screen on Collison. Stolen by Ellis. And now Ellis running the floor all by himself. That puts them in the lead. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Quinn Snyder. He told me he's wary about how they'll contend with DeMarcus Cousins inside. He said he's a beast in there, no doubt about it. Size, length, strength, and a ton of skill. The talent is really off the charts with him. And guys, he knows it won't be easy to muscle Cousins away from the rim, but he said that's what they've got to find a way to do. It won't be easy.
All right, Doris, thanks. And so here's Sacramento after the basket by Utah. Ellis dishes to Hayward. 5 to shoot. Screen by Cousins. Hayward passes to Cousins. Collison, no good. For Utah, they've gone just 2 of 7 so far. A little bit of a slow start for them. Deflects the pass and taken away by Ellis. And up the court come the Kings on the break. Cousins with the ball. That's good.
And his presence as a scorer, it just has a calming effect for the rest of the team. He's a fallback option whenever they need one.
Now here's Booker. Looking for his first basket still in this one. Down low. Puts up the baby hook. And it falls over the rim and in. The Kings have gotten 3 of 8 shots to fall for them here in the first quarter. Collison against Rondo. Ellis kicks to Collison. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. Collison's got 5.
And that's one of his strengths, knocking down those long-range jump shots.
Pass to Booker. Here's Hood, defended by Hayward. Shot off the screen, Booker. And Derek Favors pulls it down.
No doubt it's been a bit of a struggle for him here in this quarter in terms of scoring.
And here's Ellis from beyond the arc. And another 3 for Sacramento.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose, the D hasn't been able to keep up.
And Booker kicks to Gay, and there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. It's on DeMarcus Cousins.
And guys, you see how Rudy Gay just exploded last season in the second half. I mean, I think he felt at ease in George Karl's system. And I think that's one reason why you're starting to see just how good Rudy Gay can be.
For a long time, critics have gotten on Gay for his lack of efficiency, but he quieted some of those voices, Clark, last year with his play and stats.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, across the board, he made nice improvements, not only in his scoring, but also his ability to create shots for others.
Now, here's Collison. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And also, his assist total tells you about the job he did of keeping his head up and keeping his teammates involved.
That's terrific defense right there to prevent from converting in close.
Now the dish to Gay. Feeds it to Booker. Goes up to the stripe. Cannot hit. Now Sacramento takes it the other way.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter. If you battle for the offensive rebound and come up with it, you're guaranteed a high-quality shot on a follow just like he got there.
You know, there are those who wonder if Gordon Hayward can lead a team to the promised land. However, as just a sophomore, he led a non-powerhouse college to a championship game. So, in fact, they were just one basket away from winning it all.
And Utah making a change here. Burks is checked in. Now, here's Burks. His last outing, he had 8 points.
You know, they've scored several times already here in the first quarter down low. I like that.
It's like a running game in football. When you can pound the basketball inside, it also allows you to control the team's transition.
Here's Collison. He has 5. Here's Cousins, and he goes in for the dunk.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Jazz trail by 6. Going back to Hayward, he took that buzzer-beating half-court shot, Clark, that would have won his school the championship. You actually called that game, and it did hit the backboard and rim, but unfortunately did not go in.
Well, Hayward's the kind of guy who's willing to put his team on his back and try to carry him. He's willing to take that responsibility on. Whether he can deliver at the highest level, time will tell.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Here's Booker. Sacramento making their last shot. Rondo can't get it to go. Kings leading now by 8. Collison dishes to Cousins. Ellis kicks to Favors. There's the basket and make it a double-digit lead. Favors has got his second basket.
They haven't been able to stifle him defensively here.
No, to the contrary. They haven't provided much resistance at all. And in this game, you've got to play both ends of the floor.
Now here's Gay. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Indiana. From 11 feet away. Good.
Well, he knew how many inches he had over the guy. I mean, let's face it. Good decision to just rise up and take the jump shot.
outside Collison. Favors sets the pick for Collison. The pass to Hayward. Shoots missing again.
You can't miss those, but
the ball picked up by Ellis. Left side of the rim, and it swirls in.
First quarter for him. He's creating good opportunities.
Timeout, their first. This their first chance this season playing the Jazz.
Yeah, and they lost the season series to this squad last time around. Maybe a little extra motivation tonight to show they've improved.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. Two teams in the bottom half of the conference as far as respect goes. They're both scratching and clawing to try to get a little more of that respect.
No luck.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Cauley-Stein grabs the board. Kings leading now by 6. And the foul on Alec Burks. That's his first foul.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
The Kings making a switch here. Ross is checked in. And here's Jones, who's averaging around 5.5 points a game. Allen passes to Ross. On the wing, Jones. Shot clock at 5. Again, the miss by Jones.
You know, 9 times out of 10, he's going to
brings it back, and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Jones. So it's the Jazz now. 6-point game. Gobert with a screen on Chalmers. Nato.
In building this lead, they've done a terrific job finishing their defensive sequences with the backboard. That has been key.
Yeah, you're right, Greg. Not one second chance bucket for the opposition. They're boxing out on every shot.
Ross with a wide open look. From outside, off the mark.
Boy, I tell you, I thought the Jazz had a big year last season. Looked much tougher than before. A big part of that is how Coach Quinn Snyder helped the team grow. I mean, he looked like a perfect fit in his first year with the franchise.
Here's Mack. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. 4 on the clock. A 3-ball. Cauley-Stein grabs the board. Kings leading now by 6. Now Chalmers. And there's the foul. It'll go on Shelvin Mack. That is his first foul of the game. Now here's Ross. Burks covering. Ross dishes to Jones. Sacramento again missing. You were mentioning the Jazz, and they grew last year under Coach Quinn Snyder in his first year. You know, Greg, he did the same thing with teams when he was a coach in the D-League.
That's a great point, Kevin. And beyond the growth that the Jazz showed, I think everyone in Utah was pleased with the style of play. I mean, Coach Snyder's got the team back to playing hard defense and really grinding out wins.
That's tipped.
I'll tell you what, the way he's been going this quarter, guys, they're going to need somebody else to pick up the slack.
It's deflected, and that's out of bounds. Sacramento will retain possession. We've got 28 seconds left to play in the first quarter. There's a good screen. Burks with the steal. Cauley-Stein grabs the board. Cauley-Stein's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And we reach the end of the first quarter. Kings lead by 8. Stay with us as we get set to bring you the second quarter right after this. And talk to Monte Ellis. He says he feeds off his doubters. He loves to hear someone say what he can't do.
I think I had that all my life. I always had to prove somebody wrong, and, still to this day. That's just the competitiveness that I believe my oldest brother built into me when I was little.
And Monte Ellis is still trying to prove people wrong now in Dallas after their quick exit from the playoffs a season ago. Clark, it's been a decade in the league now for this very talented guard.
And, that kind of relentless determination is really something Monte is known for, and one of the reasons he has been around for 10 years in the NBA as a consistently good player and lethal scorer.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And let's quickly break down the game we've been watching from the Kings, guys.
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
And now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset our lineups. Taking a look at the Jazz, we've got Alec Burks. Rudy Gay is out there with Rudy Gobert. Then it's Sheldon Mack, and it's Hood in a shooting guard.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And, Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Outside Collison. He dishes it to Favors. The jump hook. Score it. His third straight basket in 3 tries. We're about a minute and a half into the second quarter now. Here's Mack. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. That's good.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Kings leading now by 6.
And we all know Utah is a very young team. Last year, only the 76ers were younger. Still very competitive given the age and the lack of experience from this group.
Now here's Ross. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City. 2 on the clock. Ellis can't get it to go.
That's a shot he's got to hit. You don't get many looks better from that range.
Hood can't get it to go. Clark, an interesting fact about the Jazz and their age last year. At one point, they didn't even have the oldest starting 5 in the state of Utah. Now think of this. The starting 5 of BYU, Greg and I were just talking about this, had an older average than Utah did.
Yeah, amazing. You look at the ages of Exum and Gobert and Favors. Makes sense that would be the case.
And just solid play out of them that time. Just trying to get a break in the action to clear some heads here. I mean, they've gone ice cold, and not a bad idea to give them a little quick breather.
Yeah, they needed the timeout here. Anything to try to get them to forget about the missed shots and get themselves back on track.
Gordon Hayward's checked in for Sacramento. And a switcher also for Utah. Rondo's checked in. It's Ellis on the wing. The feed to Collison. Ellis outside. Gobert with the block. And now Utah, fast break. And with that shot, the Kings lead is cut down to 6 on the bucket from Burks.
Well, that fast break went according to plan.
Yeah, nice job there, Greg. Recognizing the opportunity was there to push it, and then excellent execution.
Now here's Collison. He's got 5. Cousins with it. Gay picks him up defensively. And the officials signal the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
A moment now to see the numbers for Burks. How's the last month of basketball been for him? Getting around 12 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
Yeah, great hustle. Does all the little things. Just a good complimentary guy to have on your team.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
Now here's Cousins. 20 points for him last game against the Thunder in Oklahoma City.
And 3 blocks on the game as well. I mean, he was going all out and making plays defensively.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Kings.
They've made the commitment to get out and run, and it's paid off with some highlight reel plays in transition.
The other thing that's helped them early tonight are the points they've been able to convert off turnovers. Boy, for Alec Burks, he really started to put it all together in his 3rd season. He doubled his scoring average, shooting percentage was up. Then last season, a strong start, but a shoulder injury cut short what I thought was going to be his best season yet.
Jazz trail by 4. Here's Hood. The shot will not go. Hayward with some nice D. And Cousins kicks to Ellis. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Tell you what, Monte Ellis is one of the best second-round draft picks of all time in the league, not just the last decade. I mean, this guy was a 5-star recruit out of high school, committed to college, but changed his mind and entered the draft, where the Warriors stole him with the 40th pick in 2005.
Exum, he's checked in for Hood. Getting back to Monte Ellis. Had he gone to college for even 1 year, I think he would have probably been a top 10 pick, but you look at what he's brought to the table over his career, points and assists, rebounds, steals, playmaking. His production has been astounding.
You know, he's one of those unsung players. He never gets voted to the All-Star game, never gets spoken about as one of the top guards in this league. But you look at the body of work and you ask his competitors throughout this league, and they're going to tell you that guy's as tough as they get.
And with that shot, the Kings' lead is cut down now to just 4 points with the basket from Gay. The Kings have gone 50% from the floor in the second quarter, 3 of 6. Screen by Cousins. Collison, the pass to Cousins. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Thinking about DeMarcus Cousins, Clark, when he was selected, people questioned whether he could stay out of trouble. Many doubted that, he could, but he has stayed clean really since day one.
Yeah, going back 5 years ago, a beat writer actually had the audacity to say he would end up in jail at some point. Cousins has proved him and others wrong.
It's hard not to go for it when you see the chance for that alley-oop.
Clearly, temptation got the best of him right there, Greg.
Now, here's Collison. He's got 5. There's the pick. Favors dishes to Hayward. Over in the corner, Ellis. Off target from 3-point range.
And with that Cousins story about the writer, Cousins actually called him out about that failed prediction. I mean, they made amends, however, with the writer eating his words and donating to a charity of Cousins' choice.
Timeout called by the Kings.
Yeah, and for Cousins, it's never been a question of talent. I mean, many are glad to see that he's been able to stay focused really for the first stretch of his career.
Booker, he's checked in for Utah. Now here's Collison. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. Cousins with it, defended by Booker. The rebound by the Jazz. Booker's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Burks with it, picked up by Collison. Rondo, here's Gay, and count it. 2 points with a chance for 1 more at the free throw line.
I tell you what, fellas, we're seeing some really good ball moving out there.
Definitely. 10 of their last 12 points have come off assists.
And no question, G.A., Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only 1 playoff. Only 1. Count him, 1. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he was still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
Here's Gay, following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. No good from Booker.
And there have been some terrible shot choices here, Kev. That's not a good look at all.
Collison kicks to Ellis. Ellis draws the double. Collison gets a wide open look. The three-pointer no good. Jazz trail by 3. Outside Rondo. Burks in the corner. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. They've led by as much as 10.
And, you know, back to Rudy Gay, he's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be completed.
Offensive rebound, and then Favors with the dunk.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
Oof, he is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second-chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
And thinking more about Rudy Gay, one key number I look at from last season, his assists. By far the most in his career, and that didn't translate into a ton of wins, but it very well could have been the next step toward getting those wins.
Got freed up. Nice work off the pick. 9 points for Gordon Hayward.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
Now, here's Burks. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. There's a screen. Rondo kicks to Burks. From about 19 feet, but they get it back. Here's Booker, and Derek Favors picks up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him.
That's his second personal foul. If he gets another, it probably puts him on the bench for the rest of the first half.
And the Kings will go for a different look here. Cauley Stein, he's checked in for Cousins. Terrence Jones comes in for Derek Favors. Ray Allen, he's checked in for Monte Ellis. And it's Chalmers in for Darren Collison. Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession. With a break in the action, time for a rundown now of the most accurate shooters at small forward over the last 10 games. Gordon Hayward on top.
And when you've got a player like him who can shoot that efficiently on the perimeter, it gives you a remarkably dependable option every time down the floor.
Boy, does it ever. I mean, he's a marksman from anywhere on the court. And it doesn't hurt that he works nonstop to get himself open either. I mean, he's constant motion out there.
Dishes it to Jones. Hayward outside. Allen for 3. And that comes off the assist by Mario Chalmers. And it's a 9-point Kings lead.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on a clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
The Kings have gone 7 of 14 in the second quarter, shooting to the tune of 50%. The Kings were off to a hot start last year, but things certainly fell apart midway. A big factor in that was the messy firing of their coach, Mike Malone.
Yeah, really, that firing came out of nowhere to the fans and the players, and seemed odd to fire a coach that has been leading his team to good basketball.
Here's Gay after Gordon Hayward's bucket. Gay left side. And the bucket counts, and he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
I thought they did a better job of getting it inside in the first. I mean, they were conscious of throwing that ball in the paint and attacking the rim.
Terrence Ross is checked in for Gordon Hayward. And Utah also making a switch. Shelvin Max checked in for Exman. Now here's Ross. Quiet so far offensively, searching for his first points of the game.
And, you know, we'll never really know the full details of why Malone was fired, but the effect it had on the team was easy to see. Kings really tailspinned out of control afterward.
Another miss by Utah.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those boards.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
To the inside, Allen. And he banks in the lane. Allen's got the lead up to 10 now for Sacramento.
You know, the Kings, I think, will look back and realize they made a dubious decision the way they handled that coaching change. I mean, lucky for them, they were able to right things, so to speak, by landing George Karl later on. Clearly one of the better coaches in NBA history.
Here's Gay. Ray Allen picking up that last basket. Here's Burks. Sinks the 15-footer. Burks has got his third basket of the night.
A tough start scoring the basketball, but they're starting to turn it around now.
Yeah, it looks like they've gained a little bit of confidence as the lid has come off the hoop.
Chalmers pass to Jones. Back to Chalmers. From deep. Allen's shot is off. Jazz trail by 8. Mack dishes to Burks. Kicks it to Booker. Burks the pass to Gay. From deep. And so that brings the first half to a close. It's Sacramento. They're up by 8. And now let's catch up with Doris Burke, who's standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Monte, you guys had very active hands out there, and your defense seemed really to drive your offense.
We know if we get defensive stop, we're going to lead the offense. So that's going to be our main focal point is defense and get out and run.
Gotta love a fast-paced team, Monte. Thank you. Kevin?
Thank you, Doris. And we'll be back after halftime for the start of the second half.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. We welcome you back to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. It's Sacramento with the advantage at the half. They have a solid 8-point lead. And we'll start with the big fella. Shaq, what'd you see from them out there?
Well, they really dictated the pace of the game with their transition game. They got out on the break every chance they had, and the time they could push the tempo, they did. And a lot of times it kept the defense scrambling like eggs with the cheese and apple juice.
Kenny, what do you have to say about the Jazz?
I was unimpressed, Ernie. Very unimpressed with their offense. You know, guys seem to be going through the motions, not cutting, not hustling. They failed to get back into a great offensive rhythm. They'll need to step it up big in the second half to cut into this lead.
Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the Horn.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. Rudy Gay having a dominant impact in this game.
Always been a dynamic scorer, and we saw in that first half the entire repertoire on display.
Yeah, he's a hard man to keep down, and so far they haven't found the answer for him. I don't know if there is an answer for him, quite honestly.
Hayward out there with Favors. And there's Collison, Bennett Ellis, and it's Cousins in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for George Karl getting going here in the second half.
And did you see the screen that was set for him? I mean, that was how he got to the hoop.
It was the classic screenplay. It won't show up in the box score, but that screen deserves an assist.
Absolutely, Kevin. I mean, that took the defender right out of the play.
And then Favors with the dunk.
And just another example, Kevin, of how they built this lead, just outworking.
Greg, that was definitely an effort play right there. You talk about that all the time, fighting to get proper position, then slamming home the putback.
Yep, and if they can maintain this energy level, their lead will be safe.
Now here's Gobert. Gay outside. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. It's going to go on Gordon Hayward. Really holds the reins to this team, and we're seeing some examples, guys.
And that's the kind of take-charge leadership that every team desperately needs.
For Utah, they have gone 6 of 8 from the free throw line tonight. The free throw drops for Gay. Terrence Ross is checked in for Gordon Hayward. Gay hits them both. Utah was so tough near the end of last season, Greg. They weren't going to make the playoffs, but they did give other teams some trouble.
That's a great point. And how about going 19-10 after the All-Star break? Another team that would have been in the playoffs
right
if they were in the East.
And the shot is good. Second half of basketball, just over a minute played so far. Rondo kicks to Gobert. They set the pick. Ellis against Gay. Back to Gobert. And stolen by Favors. And now Ellis running the floor all by himself. Gay with the block. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. Here's Hood, and the rejection by Favors, and they'll keep possession. Now here's Collison. 5 points in the game. Pass to Ellis. Poked away. Out of bounds. Kings ball as Sacramento keeps possession.
And with a quick break in the action, here's some numbers for Derek Favors. Putting up about 10 points a night, 7 rebounds, and just over 2 blocks. And he's such a presence for them inside.
No question, he's blocked shots, controls the glass, does everything asked of him and more.
Now here's Collison. Here's Cousins. Knocks loose off the pick and hammers it home.
Not surprised at all. He's shooting it well and scoring points in bunches.
Rondo dishes to Gobert. Back to Rondo. Pass to Booker. Goes back up. Count that one, and the Kings' lead has been cut down to 7 on the bucket from Gobert.
Guys, he's actually indefatigable. He never gives in, never gives up on a play, and that's what it takes to be a great offensive rebounder. You've got to be relentless.
Now here's Ellis. He has 7, and stolen by Booker. Rondo against Collison. Right side, Rondo. Gay outside. He kicks to Booker. Looking to end his cold spell. And with that shot, the Kings lead is cut to just 5 on the basket from Gobert.
You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
That's the kind of look they can continue to go with. Maybe that'll help them create some separation on the scoreboard.
Ross passes to Ellis. Cousins inside. Working on Booker. And Cousins throws it down.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Jazz trail by 7. Utah calls timeout. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
You just have to admire the versatility they were able to display offensively.
Scoring came from every direction, all over the place. I mean, if one approach didn't work for them, they found another one that did.
And stolen by Cousins. An even 3-on-3 break. Here's Ross. Off the left rim and out. The Jazz have gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Rondo with it. Picked up by Ellis. Ellis against Rondo. Looking for Gobert. He gets it there. 6 to shoot. Hood kicks to Booker. He feeds it to Rondo. The Jazz again can't hit it. Kings leading now by 7. It was a trade that seemingly had been talked about for several years. Finally last season, Boston shipping out Rajon Rondo to the Dallas Mavericks, Clark, halfway through the season.
Yeah, and it seemed to me to be a trade that actually helped both teams.
No other way to put it. Just a poor shooting performance for him, but luckily his teammates have picked up the slack.
It's Gay on the wing. He's guarded by Ross. Gay is doubled. Back to Rondo. Booker up top from the high post. Another miss by Utah.
And for Rondo, in the trade, he was able to get out of a rebuilding situation in Boston. It immediately helped a playoff contender in Dallas that was looking for help at that point guard position.
The drive by Cousins.
I mean, already hot coming into the game. Is it fair to say he's hotter?
Jazz trail by 9. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Here's Hood. He's guarded by Ellis. And there's the 3-second violation.
Looking at the Kings over the last month, let's see how they stacked up in the league statistically. First in assists, first in blocks, and they're also #1 in shooting percentage. This is a team that prides itself on taking high-quality shots.
And how about that assist rate? Great chemistry offensively, playing with one mind, if you will, all on the same page. That's special basketball we're witnessing here tonight.
Exum, he's checked in for Utah. Trey Burke comes in for Rajon Rondo. Screen by Cousins. Ellis wide open. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. That's 10 points for Monte Ellis.
And I tell you what, it was a rough go of things there early on for Rondo and Dallas. And you know, even for great players, it's always an adjustment when you go from a position of comfort to a completely new environment. And even though you're going to a better team, there's going to be some hemming and hawing in terms of your role and how you fit in.
And Sacramento has possession after the basket by Utah. Screen by Cousins. Was on the wing. Back to Ellis. Deep two from Collison. Rebounded by the Jazz. Booker's got 6 rebounds now in the game. Burke dishes to Hood. Exum with it. Picked up by Collison. Here's Hood. No good from outside.
Trailing here in the game, you can look at his performance as a direct indicator of why they're losing.
Collison, the pass to Ross. Screen by Cousins. Back to Collison. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. Collison's got 7 points in the game. Jazz trail by 12. Exum kicks to Gobert. Here's Hood. Gobert, the screen. Hood dishes to Booker. Breaks a big high bounce and goes in. Booker's got 4 this quarter. Kings leading now by 10. Outside Collison. Pass to Favors. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
The Jazz have gotten 6 of their 12 shots to drop for him here in the second half so far. Exum passes to Booker. Here's Hood. Kept alive. The dish to Exum. Feeds it to Gobert. The pass to Exum. Nice ball movement by Utah. Here's Booker. Nice D from Cousins.
He is just really almost playing for the other team. The shooting has just been poor.
Utah Jazz saw one of the biggest year-to-year improvements in the league last season. The big part of that, of course, was their play on the road.
And, you know, Kevin, they nearly doubled their road wins from last season by getting 17 away from home. And I thought they progressively got better as the season wore on.
And for the Jazz on the road, they look to be a team built around defense now moving forward. That should bode well for their prospects as a tough matchup as a visitor.
A platoon swap here for Sacramento. Burks, he's checked in for Utah. Shelvin Mack comes in for Exum. Down low. And stolen by Cauley Stein. Here's Allen. And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Defensive foul.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Kings.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and also the way they've been able to generate points off of the turnovers that they forced tonight has also helped.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
As you said with the Jazz, I mean, defense travels very well in the NBA. Teams that find ways to grind out road wins do it with really solid defense. Jazz fans have a lot to look forward to with this group.
And Mack kicks to Gobert. And he caught that pass in full stride on his way to the big slam.
Ooh, a forceful finish from the big fella.
Well, with a player for that size, you'd think he'd make the highlight reel more often.
Yeah, you know, he just appears to lack an edge at times in his game. I mean, he can be too passive and reluctant on the court.
Gobert with the block. Now here's Booker, guarded closely. From down low. No luck. Good work defensively by Jones. Now the Kings with it. They're on a 17-6 run. Screen by Jones. And Chalmers kicks to Jones. Back to Chalmers. Over in the corner, Allen. Cauley-Stein with it. Gobert on him. And stolen by Booker. Mack, good.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Now, here's Chalmers. He dishes it to Allen. This one for three. Good, and it's Chalmers with the assist that time. Chalmers has got 3 assists in the game. Burke kicks to Gobert. There's the pick. Burks dishes to Mack. Good 18 feet away, and he knocks it down. Sacramento leading by 15. And Chalmers kicks to Hayward. Uses both hands to slam it down.
That pass into the paint, that is a work of art there. Dead on target.
The feed to Gobert. Dishes it to Mack. Gobert with a screen. Here's Mack. Mack, the pass to Burke.
Excellent defense.
43 seconds left in the third quarter. They set the screen for three. Hayward. The shot is off. And Utah the other way now. Next up for them, the Knicks coming out here to play. That game marks the first half of a quick 2-game homestand.
Yeah, that's a tough call right there. And really a tough break for the D.
Greg, no problem for me with that call. I mean, he was still sliding right there.
.30 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. The Jazz again can't hit it. Kings leading now by 17. Chalmers with it. Kicks it to Allen. Pass to Jones. Clock at 6. A shot by Hayward. Wide open. And it's Hayward again missing. Nato got a hand on it. And it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here. That will count. And here at the end of the third quarter, it's a double-digit ball game. Kings lead by 17. And we'll be back with you right after this. And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. The Kings shooting 52% from the floor. Nice work so far from them. So on the floor for Utah, we've got Rudy Gay, also Rudy Gobert out there. Alec Burks is out there with Hood. Favors dishes to Hayward. And it's Hayward again missing.
Well, he had one three-pointer in the first half, but so far in the second, he's come up with goose eggs.
Passes it to Gay. Shot from the wing. Sacramento grabs the miss.
That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Collison kicks to Cousins. Favors with the screen. Cousins, the pass to Ellis. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
You take a look at what Ellis has done so far. He's got 13 points, and he's got 9 points from behind the arc.
And that's been an important part of his game today. It's really spaced the floor.
That's good from Ellis. The Jazz making a switch here. Rondo's checked in. Second free throw, no good. It was a rough year last year for fans in Sacramento, but they still come out here to fill up the stands, Greg, even with their team struggling.
Yeah, the new ownership, give them credit. Last year, the Kings marked an 8-year high in terms of attendance. Not bad for a team that really looked to be in the hunt for the postseason, but then just fell apart midway through.
That's good. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. Now, here's Gay. He kicks it to Burks. Gay outside. Just 5 to shoot. Takes a shot at the elbow. A tad short, but it's good off the front iron. Gay's got 28.
Guys, he shot a very good percentage today, and they've needed it.
Collison dishes to Cousins. Collison kicks to Hayward. Stolen by Gay. Rondo against Ellis. Outside Rondo. Lets it go from the wing, and he drops that one in. Kings leading now by 17. Outside Collison. Favors with the screen. Cousins, the pass to Ellis. Sacramento moving it around. Hayward's got space. That falls. Great assist by Darren Collison. Collison's got his 8th assist in the game. Jazz trail by 19. Rondo kicks to Gay. Inside, Gobert. Good once again. That makes him 8 for 9 this game.
Kevin, he's been a bright spot in what's otherwise been a little bit of a struggle for this team. A lot of NBA teams have been outright buying developmental league teams. I mean, the Jazz did that last season. They purchased the Idaho Stampede last March, and we see more and more of that happening, one-on-one affiliations between D-League teams and NBA teams.
The Jazz making a switch here. Booker's checked in. There's the call on Trevor Booker. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Utah's on defense, trailing by 17. The drive by Cousins, tries to save it, but he recovers it. He feeds it to Ellis. Yes, it is. Scored that as a bucket. Number 5 on a 5 for 11 night.
Well, nothing was going down for him in the first half, but since the break, he's been on target.
Well, last year the Jazz acquired the Stampede from the D-League. It makes sense. They'll have a designated place now to develop, Greg, all their young talent.
And Kevin, it's really a key for the Jazz to have those extra minutes available for all those young talents to get an opportunity to get confidence, but also to learn your system. I think more and more NBA teams will follow this route of buying D-League teams.
Here's Cousins after Rajon Rondo's bucket. They set the pick. Cousins dishes to Collison. 5 to shoot. Gobert brings the double team. It's Gay with the drive. The quick look, no good that time.
You know, they don't score on that shot, but they're going to be happy with those kinds of possessions. And that's just great work there to get in the shooter's face and then go and corral that backboard.
Now here's Rondo. Pass to Gobert. Back to Rondo. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. That's on Monte Ellis. One thing to say about Rajon Rondo's career, he's come up big in the biggest of games. Had 6 steals in the closeout game that gave Boston its 17th championship. Remember that back in 2008 for Coach Doc Rivers?
I really do. And after that Boston win in the series against the Lakers, Phil Jackson called Rondo the star of Game 6. Everyone had always talked about the Big 3 in Boston. That year, it was the Big 4.
Now here's Ellis. Can't get it to fall. And now here's Rondo, the fast break opportunity. Hood, the pass to Rondo. Feeds it to Booker. There's the dish to Gay. The pass to Rondo. Shot clock at 5. Hood. The three-pointer off the mark.
And, you know, guys, on the topic of Rondo, you look at his playoff career now. I mean, in 2009, he averaged nearly a triple-double in the postseason. I mean, this guy has great instincts, but he has to have the ball to orchestrate the way he's most effective.
And he gets it to go. 18 points for DeMarcus Cousins.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of him.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
Now here's Rondo. To the middle, here's Booker. Great D that time from Favors.
And going back to what we were saying, what you hope with Rondo is that he can get back to his full level of confidence. He tore the ACL in 13. He was traded in 14. He lost his way a little bit, but he's still young enough to have several really good years in front of him.
And here's Rondo after Gordon Hayward hitting the three. They set the pick. Rondo kicks to Hood. Out of bounds, Sacramento will take possession.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. He just basically walked out of bounds.
Kings leading now by 20. Ellis goes in, and it's Hayward. That time on the assist from Monte Ellis. Ellis has got his third assist on the night. The Jazz have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth, 4 of 9.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Sacramento's gone 2 of 3 in the fourth quarter from long range. Good shooting so far. And he finishes nicely on the way up. Ellis has got 11 in the second half.
They've been getting it inside at every opportunity and getting results, too.
Yeah, that's a winning formula as far as I'm concerned. They've been the aggressors and far more assertive on the offensive end.
And Hayward with the stuff.
And as they continue to just dominate this game, you have to wonder how much can they win by.
Well, it's on the verge of getting out of hand, Greg. You can feel it. You can see it. In part because the defense has been about as good as the offense, and both have been really good.
And it's Rondo penetrating. Will it go? And it's rebounded by DeMarcus Cousins. Cousins has got 10 rebounds here tonight. So active. And the shot is good. And that's 20 points for Ellis.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Now here's Gay.
You know, something that's floating around in the sports world and in the NBA is reseeding after the playoffs start. And for those of you who may not understand the situation, it's simply saying that no matter what, it would play the lower seeded team, however you get to those numbers.
Here's Collison after the basket by Utah. Favors with the screen. A drive by Collison. And it's good. Through contact, hits the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Catching up on the changes for Sacramento. Cauley-Stein, he's checked in for Cousins. Terrence Ross comes in for Gordon Hayward. Ray Allen is checked in for Ellis. And it's Chalmers in for Darren Collison. Clock at 4. Lyles. Here's Withy. And terrific work on the offensive glass, and he picks up 2.
Excellent work offensively to get that shot attempt into a can't-miss area.
Allen dishes to Chalmers. Favors sets the pick for Chalmers. The feed to Ross. For the 3. And Derek Favors picks up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Sacramento making a switch here. Jones is checked in.
Terrence Jones.
Exum passes to Lyles. He dishes it to Burke. Pulls up. High post. Here's Withy. And it's Sacramento with the rebound. Cauley-Stein's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Dishes it to Chalmers. Cauley-Stein with the screen for Chalmers. Kicks it to Cauley-Stein. The rebound by Withy. Withy's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And And there's Burt. That's good on the assist by Exum.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
And here is Ross. Back to Jones. Pass to Chalmers. He kicks it to Ross. Sacramento again missing.
Kevin, I didn't like that defensive effort at all, but they're lucky he missed it.
Yeah, you hope that's not indicative of the type of D they're going to play, because if they do, they're going to have struggles with him tonight.
And he gets it to go. Now Chalmers. Pass to Ross.
You know, for so long, the NBA has had 12-minute quarters. In last year's preseason, they began experimenting with the 10-minute quarters. Players seem to like it, but it would be a huge change philosophically in terms of how the game is played. I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. DeMarcus Cousins, he's checked in for Cauley Stein. Favors comes in for Terrence Jones. Monte Ellis checked in for Allen. And it's Collison in for Mario Chalmers. Now here's Gay. Gets the 14-footer to fall. Gay's got 4 points this quarter. And Clark, with the 10-minute quarters, the players felt like they were fresher during the game. Still, removing 8 minutes from an NBA game does have huge consequences.
Well, we must remember it's being experimented with right now, so keep that in mind. They also talked about shortening the preseason and doing other things to keep players fresher during the year. I like the thought process.
And one team is just completely outclassing the other tonight. Spirited performance, and it really ignited what is turning out to be a monster win here for the Kings.
Agreed, Steve, and as one-sided as it gets today, you know, Clark, there were some dominant moments in about every facet of this game for that team.
You're right, Kevin. It's hard to think of anything that didn't go right for them. I mean, game planning by the coaches, execution by the players, everything was spot on.
And so they'll stretch their victory total to 19 on the season.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
Greg, I don't think it'll play out quite that simply, though. The team coming out on the losing end of game 1 is just that much more motivated to get even in game 2 and 3. So I think the edge goes to the losing team.
And while it's a team game, you can't win without guys showing up. And that was the case tonight for Cousins. He was everywhere, defensively, offensively. The effort we saw from him tonight, I think, was the difference.
Here is Collison after Rajon Rondo's bucket. Collison kicks to Favors. Back to Collison. It's stolen by Rondo. Booker dishes to Rondo. And again, it's Utah.
And they're clearly finishing strong here, but not enough time to pull it out.
Yeah, it does look like they're going to end on a high note. Too bad this run didn't develop sooner for them.
Outside Collison. So it's the Kings winning this one easily. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
Yeah, they were the superior team in every department, in every category to me, Kevin. I know their fans loved it and appreciated it.
And a chance now to send you over to Doris Burke, standing by on the sideline. Doris?
Well, DeMarcus, congratulations on the win tonight. We know you're a very intense player, but tonight you certainly seem to be having a lot of fun out there.
That's the thing. I'm just trying to come out here and have fun. I got a lot going for myself, and I'm too blessed to be out here frowning all the time. So I'm going to try to keep a smile on my face.
We love to see you smile, DeMarcus. Thanks for the time. Guys?
Doris, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan along with our entire 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And standing by for the postgame show, let's head over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game. DeMarcus Cousins.
The thing I like most about Cousins is the passion he plays the game with. Maybe he rubs some people the wrong way, but I don't want my big man smiling.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, Kevin Harlan, and our illustrious 2K Sports crew, this is Ernie Johnson saying good night, and we'll see you again soon, but not soon enough.